I literally have lost count how many times I have been in this goddamn position. How about you? How many times are you struggling to salvage a ranked game? Getting through this gold game was very interesting, and during this part of my journey to diamond in trying to rescue this game, let's talk about my feelings during this part of my journey. Let's talk the effects of the support role change and its role in solo queue players, the importance of gearing up and playing slow in this new rank system, and how satisfying the climb was starting to feel. My name is Flame078, the normal gamer. Welcome to the normal road to diamond in Apex Legends. So without further ado, let's jump into the match. So during the first half of Ranked, it was so much fun being able to have Olympus as a map again, and Oasis is usually my go-to place. The loot and rotation possibilities from this POI are good enough to have a really rock solid good start. Well, one would think anyways. But as it always is with solo queue, randoms are sort of really crucial for a good start.
Reloading. Frag out.
Almost done.
Using my Phoenix kit.
Smart bullets away. Smart bullets landing.
One of them can't shoot. Hiding in the corner.
Spotted.
They're all three right here, so take your time. Jumping in, I loot up, and as you can hear, I am communicating with my randoms, but sadly this game had zero communication. We are pretty divided, but hey, no one has done anything reckless yet, right?
Smart bullets hunting foes. Rings here and we've got 45 seconds. Easy peasy.
Caustic trap. Well, two of them going up.
The enemies are shooting. I have been down.
Taking fire. I'm down.
Wow, that is just unlucky. My teammates really didn't do anything wrong, but that enemy team was pretty smart and aggressive. And now I am stuck trying to save this damn game. But this is perfect because this now leads into my first points I want to discuss as I was grinding to diamond in season 17. The support change is amazing and it has done so much to make the solo queue experience way smoother. And I do believe even once they make this system much more competitive and harder, these support changes will still hold a lot of value for the solo queue player. These situations are way too common. And what was I going to do? Challenge a Caustic and Catalyst for those banners? Yeah, no. Best move on and reset and crap. Solo queue players are a different breed. We have to juggle so much, anticipating our randoms, anticipating the enemies. There's only a few things that we can actually control, and it's super nice to have control over our match. And that is why the support change is so clutch. And if my randoms decide to be a support legend, that opens up for me to be any legend I can, making sure I'm in the best spot to have a good game for myself. Though now here is the rough part of this season, the slow starts. I mean, look, I had to basically go across the map for this reset, and look how many squads are still alive. Making resets like this much more risky because not only do you have to survive the ring in some cases, but now full enemy squads are still around us. Lucky for us, we got lucky on the enemy front.
I am taking fire, friends. Oh, broke that enemy shield. Reloading.
We executed the last.
Getting closer to the end of Ring 1 with 15 squads, I mean, we are pretty stacked now, all things considered. And this is a good segue to talk about my second point. I personally have always had patience because I'm a very patient person, and playing slow and playing conservatively never really bothered me because I really don't get people who just want to rush and are eager to fight all the time. This is not pubs where Ring 1 is ending and there are like 2 squads left. You're moving across the map with with teams that are taking their time to loot up. So why in the hell would I rush to get into a fight where I know most likely my enemies are going to be geared up and I'm probably going to still have white armor if I'm rushing? It's just plain stupid. And using the Tempest at the worst times. Oh, that was a waste of an ult. It does make for some interesting mid-game fights, and it creates nice tension. Dragging things out or even missing your shots can lead up to you just getting crushed, and it also kind of does inflate the ego a bit, being able to get more damage on average per match if you're just kind of poking around. But it does suck that all that damage doesn't really translate to a lot of KP in some cases. But this is what makes Apex competitive, Apex ranked, a lot of fun. Dueling from afar, figuring out how to close the gap, who to close the gap on, watching for passable flanks. All of these micro and macro decisions, if done right, feel so good. However, in this part of my journey and leading up to now, these situations can be a hit or miss, which as we go into the last part of the match, we can talk about my last point.
Taking fire. I cracked an enemy.
Somehow miss with the Whistler even though it tracks enemies. Miss with the Whistler. Miss with the Whistler. Oh no! Oh. Lifeline's pretty hurt, but I messed up. With how easygoing it can be to get positive, and then pretty much out of nowhere, if you played your cards right, and boom, you have 100 points just by getting top 5. So yeah, it is no wonder, unless you had a really exciting mid-game and start, getting up until this point can feel very dull. At this point during my gold matches of my journey, it started becoming the case. And again, though I don't mind the playstyle per se, it was becoming more of a routine where once I got to top 5, I had mixed feelings because wow, I got a ton of points, but I really didn't do much up until then. Though again, in my journey, my matches were pretty exciting for the most part, but during the climb out of gold and as I was approaching plat, this dull feeling that I'm talking about became more and more frequent, thus becoming less and less fun. Oh, no, no, no.
This way, let's go.
Who's ready to fly on a zip line?
Mirage is still dead.
Replenishing my shields.
Enemy that way.
Switching a frag.
Lubov's not like right here. Lobo broken.
Reloading.
She's up here.
Recharging shields.
Focus right here.
Being
Hostile over there.
My zip line? Tragic. Holy shit.
They're shooting at me.
That was lucky.
Hold on, I need to heal. See an enemy.
infiltrate. Splendid.
Squad's attacking.
Rings close and we've got 45 seconds.
I am getting fire, friends.
Smart bullets here.
One of them to sit with my bullet.
Recharging my shields.
We've got 30 seconds to be somewhere. Enemy right here.
I've overheated their firearm. Thermite away.
We might have to go the other side, to be honest.
We've got 10
There's a
seconds.
couple of teams over there
I
too,
need to
so
save my
careful.
loading time's
Don't just
over.
run in there.
Target there. Firing. Started an enemy shield.
Watch these rocks.
Focusing my attention here.
Reloading.
Right here.
Hooligan there. Open fire.
Ooh, almost broken. Just make sure no one will look behind us. by this rock. Oh, I missed the thing.
We're doing great. Only 2 of us left.
One squad remain.
We might have to aggro push this. If they get that res off, it's gonna be a problem. Anyone have grenades?
Rings near, and we've got 40.
Recharging shields.
Good push.
Giving my shields a recharge.
It's definitely a solo somewhere.
Roughing that way. In that case, I need a moment to heal.
Well done. GG's. Getting a win is still pretty hard and can feel satisfying at times, but now that I've talked about my 3 points and getting up until here, though it was exciting for me during this match, man, it just feels really flawed, and I can see why it was flawed for a lot of people. The rewards definitely do not line up with this, and progressing started to feel not as great. And as I will express during this series, getting to Diamond was a mixed bag. So stay tuned, a couple more games in my Road to Diamond series, and I've already talked about objectively the gaps of this system, and I have more to say as we approach the new season. So if you enjoy this, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I do release daily content. My name is Flame078. Until next time, adios.